Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Productivity Boosters and Stress Reducers podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Heeb, and I can't thank you enough for listening in. Each episode, I will discuss a new tip or trick that will help you to live a productive and efficient life, professionally and personally. If you're ready to find your productivity rhythm, relieve stress, and meet your goals faster, then this is the podcast for you. This podcast is sponsored by Your Choice Concierge and Giftwell, both created to make your life easier. Your Choice Concierge provides flexible, hourly, personal, and professional assistance. Let them handle your busy tasks so you can focus on what's important. Giftwell makes thoughtful gift giving easy. They deliver and ship one-of-a-kind gifts using products from local businesses across the country. Are you ready for Valentine's Day? Make sure to use code YCCFriend at checkout. You can look at Concierge and Giftwell by clicking the links in the description. This week, I'm going to tell you about a few of my favorite PC shortcuts. These shortcuts will time and productivity. A warning to my Mac using friends. Some of these tips and tricks and shortcuts will be for Windows users, but not all of them. The first tips and tricks are geared towards helping you stay organized while working online. I personally like to use Google Chrome. If you use another internet browser, these instructions might be a little different, but once I give you an idea of what you're looking for, these tools should be fairly simple to implement elsewhere. Let's start with the newest Chrome trick, the new Google Group Tabs feature. This new feature lets you group certain tabs together, naming the group and making those specific tabs a specific color. This is a helpful tool when you're juggling a few different things online and need to be able to easily switch between websites. So, for example, if you like to keep your work inbox and calendar open all the time, but you're taking care of personal items online as well, you can group your inbox and calendar into a work group and then your personal tabs into a personal group. This will keep you from wasting your time opening the wrong tabs when you're going back and forth in between websites. To group your tabs, simply right-click on the tab and then click Add Tab to a group or create a new tab group. It's super easy. Another thing I do is pin my tabs. This will also help you manage multiple tabs like grouping them. But unlike grouping your tabs, when you pin your tabs and exit out of your browser, when you open up your browser, your pin tabs will still be there. So you'll want to pin tabs that you use every day. For example, my inbox, calendar, and CRM are pinned. This saves me from having to open each of these sites every single morning. You'll want to make sure that your Chrome settings are set to the continue where you left off option in the on startup section. This is towards the bottom of your Google Chrome settings. And just a quick FYI, I will be demonstrating these tips and tricks on the YouTube channel as well, including how to update those settings. Pinning your tabs will also hide the X. This will prevent you from accidentally exiting out. I used to do this a lot when I would get in a hurry. And while we're on that topic, if you do accidentally exit out of a tab, just right click where the tab was, and you should see an option that says reopen closed tab. Clicking that should reopen it right where you left off. Super convenient. To pin your tabs, you'll do the same thing. Simply right click and then click pin. It doesn't get much easier. Another trick that will save you a few seconds is moving in between your tabs without using your mouse. Just hit the control button plus the number of whatever tab you want to open. So for example, if you're on tab 1, if you click control plus 4, you will hop to tab 4. Again, doing it this way will save you just a few seconds each time, but all those seconds add up to a lot over time. Another time-saving suggestion is to have your important website saved directly to your desktop. All you have to do is highlight and drag your URL directly to your desktop for easy access. You might have favorites saved in your browser, but adding them directly to your desktop will save you the steps of opening your browser, then going through your list of favorites to find it. And just like moving between tabs, this isn't going to seem like it's saving you a ton of time right away, but it will add up. And again, just a reminder, I'll be demonstrating these tips and tricks on the Your Choice Concierge YouTube channel. I want to make sure my visual learners don't miss out. I've also been using Google's transcribing tools more recently to help me save time. There are several things I found this to be useful for. The first being my meeting notes. When I start a meeting that I know will be filled with a lot of important details, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. But I also want to make sure that I'm staying engaged. And I find that if I try to keep up with writing important notes the entire time, my head stays down and I'm less able to contribute to the conversation in meaningful ways. I've also been using it to transcribe my podcasts. Why would I pay for someone to do it for me when I can do it while I'm recording the podcast? Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't come out perfect. I still have to make edits like adding periods and commas, etc., so on and so forth. But if you wanted to use the transcribing tool for something like drafting emails, then you would be able to actually verbalize your punctuations. For example, hi, comma, my name is Stephanie, period. This is about me, period. Sincerely, comma, Stephanie. This is a great tool for anyone who's injured or is unable to type or write for any reason. I have a couple friends that use it when they are experiencing carpal tunnel pain. And I recently introduced this feature to my dad who has injured his arm. There's a couple different ways to use the Google transcribing. You can use a Google Doc, simply open up a new doc, select tools, then click voice typing. A little microphone will then show up right on your screen. Just hit the mic and start talking. You will need to make sure that you have a PC with a microphone built in or connect an external one. If you have an Android phone, you can also use the Google Live Transcribe app and do it directly from your phone. I'm sure there's also a similar iOS option out there somewhere too. We're almost out of time, but before I go, I want to quickly run through a few of my favorite keyboard shortcuts as well. Again, doing something as simple as keeping your hands on the keyboard instead of moving back and forth to the mouse and navigating menus can add up to a lot of time saved. These are just a few of the ones I use almost every day. Hitting Control+A will select or highlight all of your text. To copy your text once it's highlighted, hit Control plus the letter C. To paste, hit Control plus the letter V, not the letter P. Control plus the letter P will actually print. Control plus the letter B will turn your selected text bold. And last, but certainly not least of my favorites, is using the F2 key to rename my files. Simply click on the file and hit the F2 button. Of course, there are lots and lots and lots of other keyboard shortcuts out there. There is just not enough time in this short podcast to run through them all. Also, again, just a reminder, all this information will be on the Your Choice Concierge YouTube channel in the form of screenshots or videos. Don't expect to master these tricks immediately. Like most new things, there will be a learning curve. But the more you use these shortcuts, the easier it will become and the more time you will save. That's all the time we have for this week's episode of Productivity Boosters and Stress Reducers. If you want to talk more about helpful PC shortcuts, have feedback about this episode, or a specific topic you'd like to hear about in the future, please email me at info@yourchoice-concierge.com. I would love to hear from you. Make sure you subscribe to the Your Choice Concierge YouTube channel where you can find the examples of the tips and tricks I discuss on the show. Before I go, I want to report on my uhs and goal from the first episode. I am very happy to report that I didn't say or at all in episode 3. That's compared to the 2 times in episode 2, the 8 times in episode 1, and the whopping 19 times in the trailer. Since I seem to have reached this goal way sooner than I anticipated, this will be the last podcast that I share my uhs and ums update on. Thank you so much for your support, and thanks again for listening in. I'm Stephanie Heeb, and I hope you'll join me next week for more tips and tricks to live a productive and efficient life. Professionally, if you considered a podcast but haven't had the time, check out Buzzsprout. They make launching and managing your podcast effortless. Trust me, if I can do it, anyone can. Clicking the Buzzsprout link in the description will let them know we sent you and get you a $20 Amazon gift card if you decide to sign up for a paid plan. Thanks again to our sponsors, Your Choice Concierge and GiftWell. Until next time, productive people.